Hi folks, Robin here at Toadstool Tarot. I thought I'd do a video response to Candy at Candy Soul and Soil, if I have that right, Tarot, and also Sandra, the Whispering Well. This is called Top 10 Curiosity Decks. I guess decks that you might find in a curio cabinet. For me, it's decks that have strangeness to them. There's sort of a bizarre aspect that makes you kind of wonder what's going on with these decks. The first one on my list, and these aren't in any order, is the Kalma Tarot. It's at makeplayingcards.com. It's kind of pricey. It's a majors only deck, and I don't know much about it. The cards don't have any labels on them, but they're readily identifiable as the major arcana. It's a colorful deck, an odd deck. There's really no information that I could find other than the name of the creator. I think it's Carl Williams, something like that. And I'm not sure if he's Russian or not, but these have the look of sort of like a Russian children's book or something. I just find it a curiously odd deck, and because it's so unusual and I've never heard anybody speak of it, I think it belongs in a curio cabinet. The second one on the list, and I've mentioned this a few times before, and it's not a popular deck, but it's an odd one, is the White Witch Tarot by Maya Diost. Not an easy deck to use, I don't think, unless you're particularly tuned in to your sort of cerebral unconscious. It's very glossy. And has a feel of sort of scratchboard on black surface to the images. The next one, and I don't know who the oddball is that created this one. The Open Face Tarot. This one has no labels on it. It's a majors only. Very odd little drawings. Almost like hieroglyphics. Then, number 4 here, we have, this is the Happy Star Tarot. This is a Russian deck, I believe, by Felix Eldemarov. And this one is a curiosity because it follows the Rider-Waite in an alternative world. For instance, this is the Seven of Cups, depicting what we very much see in a Four of Cups. And this is the Four of Cups, depicting what we might see in a Seven of Cups. We've got a little dung beetle for the moon. Here we've got the Four of Swords, where we might ordinarily have the Seven of Swords. And not all the cards are switched around. So the curiosity is, why are some of the cards switched around and not others? It's an interesting, odd little sun card. The Tower. Here we've got a rainbow on the Ace of Cups. Here we've got Temperance pouring 2 pitchers of liquid into a lemniscate. So it's definitely got that curious factor about it to go into a curiosity cabinet, I think. Next one on the list is the Keishobu Tarot. This is from Japan. And this is, I jokingly refer to this as the Tarot of the Blondes because all the characters in it are blonde. It's kind of a combination of RWS and Marseille kind of feel to it. Here's my favorite card, Four of Swords. Next we have the Royal Fez Moroccan. Those are the backs. It's got some interesting RWS notions and partly black and white, partly color, some sort of spot colors on black and white drawings. Not sure why these are partly color, partly black and white. And I don't think there's very much history on this deck to explain it, so definitely into the curio cabinet. Next is the Little Monsters Tarot. This one I have as a curiosity just because the figures on the cards are rather curious, I think. sort of fantastical, odd, strange. Next, we have a scarce one here. This is the Decadent Dream Tarot. These are the lovely backs. And these are very dark and kind of hard to see. But very sort of darkly romantic and mythological, and little on the symbolism or sort of frightening side. Beautiful artwork pulled from a number of classical sources, but there's no information on that. I think I did or do have somewhere here a guidebook. I don't know what I've done with it, because I seem to recall it doesn't really tell you much, if anything, about the sources. A lot of the images have been used in other decks. I don't use this one much because the images are very dark. Next is the Mildred Payne's Pocket Oracle. This is the large size. It's easier to handle. But I think probably the original one in the little mini pocket edition would be more suited to the curio cabinet. And this is kind of a curiosity just because, excuse me, because of the nature of the mythology behind the creation of the deck, that was sort of a found deck in the pocket of a nightgown at a child at an institution. Probably the biggest mythology of any of Patrick Valenza's decks. And these decks are not particularly favorites or ones that I use often. They're more the idea that they're just odd. The last one I'm going to share is the Medieval Sigils Tarot. This is by Julianne Victoria. I think I have her name right. Yes. These are the sort of antique-y backs, and these are the sigils on the front. Now, this can be read as a tarot. If you look at the code in the bottom, you can sort of determine earth, air, fire, water, and the number, and then translate that. But the little guidebook intends for you to just kind of intuit from these symbols. So it's pretty abstract. Very interesting looking images. And it has an air of mystery and curiosity about it. So most of these decks make me curious about them. What's their background? Where did they come from? How did they originate? How they're a bit off the beaten path from other tarots and oracles. And I'd be curious to see what we might find in your curio cabinets. So if you feel to share, please do. And I will see you all again soon. Bye.